Hello, welcome back. Let's read more about the old Fords. Just made my Danish video about this old Ford Model T and other old Fords. Just need to read this Ford Model A, but that's the Model A from year 2027. Is another old Model A. So let's read about it. I'm tired. I like to go to bed and relax watching YouTube video. I like to read about this one. We'll maybe try to do it if we have more power on the camcorder. I will read this one tonight, but I need a minute to go to my bed. This is like six pages. So I should maybe buy old Model A one day.
Ford Modeler 1927-1931. Ford Modeler 1928 Modeler Ford.jpg. 1928 Ford Modeler Tudor Sedan Overview Manufacturer Ford Motor Company, also called GAZO, USSR. Production October 1927 March 1932 Model years 1928-1931 Assembly Arabi, Louisiana Buffalo, New York, 1. Chester, Pennsylvania, 1. Chicago, Illinois, 1. Dallas, Texas, 1. Denver, Colorado, 2. Dearborn, Michigan Jacksonville, Florida Long Beach, California Louisville, Kentucky, 1. Norfolk, Virginia, 1. Memphis, Tennessee, 1. Richmond, San Francisco, California, 1. Seattle, Washington, 1. Somerville, Massachusetts, 1. The Ford Modeler, also colloquially called the A-Model Ford or the A and A-Bone among hot rodders and customizers, 5, was the Ford Motor Company's second market success, replacing the venerable Model T which had been produced for 18 years. It was first produced on October 20, 1927, but not introduced until December 2.6. This new modeler, a previous model had used the name in 1903-04, was designated a 1928 model and was available in 4 standard colors. By the 4th of February 1929, 1 million models had been sold, and by the 24th of July, 2 million. 7. The range of body styles ran from the Tudor at $500, in gray, green, or black, $7,891 in 2021 $8, 7, to the town car with a dual cowl at $1,200, $18,937 in 2021 $8.9, in March 1930, modeler sales hit 3 million, and there are 9 body styles available. 7. Modeler production ended in March 1932, after 4,858,644 had been made in all body styles. 10. Its successor was the Model B, which featured an updated inline 4-cylinder engine, as well as the Model 18, which introduced Ford's new flat-feed, side-evolve, V8 engine. Features. Prices for the model ranged from $385 for a Roadster to $1,400 for the top-of-the-line town car. The engine uses a water-cooled L-head inline 4 with a displacement of 201 cu in 3.3 L. 11. This engine provided 40 HP, 30 kilowatts, 41 PS, 11. Top speed was around 65 miles per hour, 105 kilometers per hour. The Model A had a 103.5 in, 2,630 millimeters, wheelbase with a final drive ratio of 3.771. The transmission was a conventional unsynchronized 3-speed sliding gear manual, 11, with a single-speed reverse. The Model A had 4-wheel mechanical drum brakes. 11. The 1930 and 1931 models were available with stainless steel radiator cowlings and headlamp housings. The Model A came in a wide variety of styles including coupes, standard and deluxe, business coupe, sport coupe, roadster coupes, standard and deluxe, convertible. St. Louis, Missouri, 1. St. Paul, Minnesota, 1. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, 3. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Santiago, Chile. Asnières-sur-Seine, France. Cologne, Germany. Yokohama, Japan. Copenhagen, Denmark. Cork, Ireland. Trafford Park, England. Barcelona, Spain. Trieste, Italy. Nizhny Novgorod, Soviet Union. Tofane, Istanbul, Turkey. Designer Henry Ford. Edsel. Ford body and chassis. Glass full-size Ford body style A chassis. Convertible sedan, 400 business coupe. Coupe deluxe coupe special coupe, 1928. 29 limited run, sport coupe standard coupe deluxe coupe standard Ford sedan Murray standard Ford sedan bricks deluxe Ford sedan Murray deluxe Ford sedan bricks leatherback Ford Eden standard Ford sedan slant windshield mail truck. Cabriolet, convertible sedan, Phaetons, standard and deluxe, Tudor sedans, standard and deluxe, town car Fordus, 5-window standard, 3-window deluxe, Victoria, town sedan, station wagon, taxicab, truck, and commercial. The very rare special coupe started production around March 1928 and ended mid-1929. The Model A was the first Ford to use the standard set-off driver controls with conventional clutch and brake pedals, throttle, and gear shift. Previous Fords used controls that had become uncommon to drivers of other makes. The Model A's fuel tank was situated in the cowl, between the engine compartment's firewall and the dash panel. It had a visual fuel gauge, and the fuel flowed to the carburetor by gravity. A rear-view mirror was optional. 4. In cooler climates, owners could purchase an aftermarket cast iron unit to place over the exhaust manifold to provide heat. Cap. A small door provided adjustment of the amount of hot air entering the cab. The Model A was the first car to have safety glass in the windshield. 12. The Soviet company Gaz, which started as a joint venture between Ford and the Soviet Union, made a licensed version from 1930 to 1936. 13. This served as the basis for the FAI and BA-20 armored cars, which saw use as Soviet scout vehicles in the early stages of World War II. In addition to the United States, Ford made the Model A in plants in Argentina, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United Kingdom. In Europe, where in some countries cars were tagged according to engine size, Ford in the UK manufactured the Model A with a smaller displacement engine of 2043 cc, 124.7 cu providing a claimed output of 28 HP, 21 kilowatt, 28 PS. 14. However, this equated to a British fiscal horsepower of 14.9 HP, 11.1 kilowatts, 15.1 PS. 15. Compared to the 24 HP, 18 kilowatts, 24 PS, of the larger engine, and attracted a punitive annual car tax levy of £1 per fiscal in the UK. It therefore was expensive to own and too heavy and uneconomical to achieve volume sales, and soundable to compete in the newly developing mass market while also too crude to compete as a luxury product. European manufactured model has failed to achieve the sales success in Europe that would greet their smaller successor in Britain and Germany. 16. Development history. Panel truck Phaeton 2-door Phaeton 4-door deluxe service pickup Roadster pickup Cabriolet pickup deluxe pickup standard Roadster Roadster utility deluxe Roadster sport Roadster station wagon taxi cab town car delivery standard Tudor sedan deluxe Tudor sedan Victoria wood panel delivery layout for layout platform a chassis related Ford model a power train engine 201 SID 3.3 L head i4 transmission 3-speed sliding mesh manual dimensions wheelbase 103.5 in 2629 mm 4 length 165 in 4191 mm width 67 in 1702 mm curve weight 2,265 2465 pound 1027 1118 kilograms. Chronology predecessor Ford model successor Ford Model B. Ford Model 18. From the mid-1910s through the early 1920s, Ford dominated the automotive market with its Model T. However, during the mid-1920s, this dominance eroded as competitors, especially the various General Motors divisions, caught up with Ford's mass production system and began to better Ford in some areas, especially by offering more powerful engines, new convenience features, or cosmetic customization. 17, 18, 19 also features Henry Ford considered to be unnecessary, such as electric starters, were gradually shifting in the public's perception from luxuries to essentials. Ford's sales force recognized the threat and advised Henry to respond to it. Initially he resisted, but the TS sagging market share finally forced him to admit a replacement was needed. When he finally agreed to begin development of this new model, he focused on the mechanical aspect sound on what today is called design for manufacturability, DFM, which he had always strongly embraced and for which the Model T production system was famous. Although ultimately successful, the development of the Model included many problems that had to be solved. 20. For example, the die stamping of parts from sheet steel, which the Ford company had led to new aids of development with the Model T production system, was something Henry had always been ambivalent about. It had brought success, but he felt that it was not the best choice for durability. He was determined that the modeler would rely more on drop forgings than the Model T, but his ideas to improve the DFM of forging did not prove practical. Eventually, Ford's engineers persuaded him to relent, lest the Model A's production cost force up its retail price too much. 21. Henry's disdain for cosmetic vanity as applied to automobiles led him to leave the Model A's styling to Atium led by his son Edsel, even though he would take credit for it despite his son doing more of the work. It was during the period from the mid-1920s to early 1930s that the limits of the first generation of mass production, epitomized by the Model T production systems' rigidity, became apparent. The era of flexible mass production had begun. 22, 23, Legacy. The modeler was well represented in media of the era, since it was one of the most common cars. Model kits remain available from hobby shops as stock cars or hot rods. High-quality die-cast modelers are re-represented in 1/24 scale by the Danbury Mint 1931 Roadster and the Franklin Mint 1930 Tudor sedan. Several modelers have obtained particular fame. The Mean Green Machine, a green and black 1931 Tudor Eden, has been a staple of University of North Texas football games and special events since 1974, maintained by the Spirit organization Talent since the 1980s. The Ramblin' Wreck, a 1930 sport coupe, is official mascot of the student body at the Georgia Institute of Technology and appears at sporting events and student body functions. A Le Cart, a customized 1929 roadster pickup built by George Barris, won Twistrate America's Most Beautiful Roadster Awards at the Oakland Roadster Show before making numerous film and television appearances. Between October 1992 and December 1994, Hector Quivido, along with his son Hugo, drove a 1928 Model A 22,000 mi, 35,406 kilometers, from his home in Punta Arenas, Chile to Ford headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. The car required minimal service, including a flat tire and transmission work in Nicaragua, and is now housed in the Henry Ford Museum. 24, a 1930 Model A used by the gangster John Dillinger to escape federal agents in 1934, was sold at auction in 2010 for $165,000. 25, Charlie Ryan's song Hot Rod Lincoln featured a modified Model A. The song has been covered several times since its original release. Jenny Railcars. The Jenny Railcar is a Ford model automobile converted for rail use. The West Side Lumber Company of California converted several Model As into rail cars which could carry 12 people. A few still see regular service on the Yosemite Mountain Sugar Pine Railroad, also in California, alongside Shays numbers 10 and 15. 26. Gallery. Hector Quivido's 1928 Model A on display at the Henry Ford Museum. Hector Quivido's 1928 Model A on display at the Henry Ford Museum. 1928 Model A Forder with a 1941 Kaiser wood gas generator, 27. 1928 Model A Forder with a 1941 Kaiser wood gas generator, 27. 1928 Model A Hot Rod with roll pan, chopped top, and late model headlights and mirrors. 1928 Model A Hot Rod with roll pan, chopped top, and late model headlights and mirrors. 1928 Model A Business Coupe. 1928 Model A Business Coupe. 1929 Model A Gazogen on display at the Tampa Bay Automobile Museum. This car was modified in 1939 to use an alternative fuel in the form of wood or charcoal. 1929 Model A Gazogen on display at the Tampa Bay Automobile Museum. This car was modified in 1939 to use an alternative fuel in the form of wood or charcoal. 1929 Town Car from the Museum of Automobiles in Arkansas. 1929 Town Car from the Museum of Automobiles in Arkansas. 1929 Model A heavy-duty truck variant of the Model A. 1929 Model A heavy-duty truck variant of the Model A. 1931 Ford Model A, Snow Flyer. 1931 Ford Model A, Snow Flyer. Hot rod with 1931 Roadster body and chassis, citation needed, Deuce grill shell, chrome-hatted carburetors, drilled I-beam dropped front axle, fin drum brakes, and zoomy pipes. Hot rod with 1930.
Good. Let's stop the video.